Hey guys, thank you so much for clicking on the video. Listen, I'm doing something a little bit different, so no intro, no none of that stuff. Spoiler alert. There's definitely a spoiler alert. If you've not seen the show, then you might want to go see the show and then double back. But I am actually here to do my review for the finale of Red Tide. That's American Horror Story double feature. This is season 10, episode 6, which is actually called Winter Kills. Yes, I'm doing trying something different. What's up, Natalia? What's going on? Are you ready? Hey, Divinely, what's going on? We're going to do the review live just to see how it goes. Folks have been asking me to do it in the past. I'm gonna go ahead and see how it goes. It was really good. Hey D, what's going on? It was the finale for Red Tide. So the first portion of this, it was the finale of all these tweakers and these pill poppers and all of this good stuff. So, all right. Now you said you were disappointed. Okay. I felt a little rush toward the end. I felt a little rush to tie this little bow on it. But all in all, listen, I'm a big fan. So first things first, we whirl through, and there's some fishermen actually going out in their boat to do their thing. Thank you, Portia. Thank you so much, baby. Um, I'm seeing a lot over here with this. I didn't enjoy it. Okay. Yeah, the fishermen are going out, and they actually run into something. They're like, we running into something. There's something. We didn't hit something. And here it is. Now, I automatically thought that it was Karen, but it wasn't Karen. It was actually the police chief. So that we had that whole thing. So then there was like this town meeting going on with what looked like the city council or whatever they were supposed to be. And absolutely, D, she most certainly does, honey. I want some more. Yeah, very much so. Um, Trooper Jan, and I seen Jan. I said, "Hey, girl." Hey, Jan, girl, what's going on, honey? Jan rolled up in there like, I ain't here for none of this. Something's going down, and I'm here to see what's going on. Baby, the little council they were doing what they normally do. They had excuses for everything she said. They had a story for everything. She said, mm-mm. Y'all know more than what y'all saying, but I'm here and I'm going to get to the bottom of it because they were truly just like coming up with excuses and blowing her off. She wasn't having it. She said, you all are hiding something. Child, and then we're sitting over there. She said, I was sent by the state of Massachusetts. So literally, they know she ain't going away. She's not just going to go away. You're going to have to produce something. Oh boy, the home decor dude. He's like, don't worry, I'll take care of it. I said, well, what are you going to do? Because here I'm thinking, I said, is he going to try to kill Jan too? I'm like, now you got to know that that's not going to work because he actually went there with her with the whole, the city versus the money versus all of that. Saying, you're going to kill the tourism with all of this coverage and all of that. She was like, I don't care nothing about that. Child, yes. When he said something about them seals, I said, if you don't get out of here, I mean, they just throw anything out to make an excuse. A mess. But he said he would take care of it. So I said, well, what's going to actually happen? Next, end up seeing him sitting down with the chemist, Bell, and Austin. And he basically threatened to shut down the whole black pill situation unless they got it under control. And they were blaming everything on Hollywood. It says the family from Hollywood. They're the one. Hollywood messes up everything. I said, okay. So that was the whole thing with that. Now let's go ahead over here to Harry's house. Harry and Alma and Ursula are up in there. And Harry's basically talking about how he has like enough material for 5 years. And they're going to be fine. As far as financially, they're set. They're literally set. And he's like, I can go on back to the city. I can go ahead and raise Alma and we just gonna be cool. Well, Miss Alma, honey, She's hearing none of that. She's like, what? He's like, yeah, we're done with the pills. She's like, what? She's like, you're selfish. You're selfish. You're only thinking about yourself. And this, that thing, and the other. And then turned over there and told Ursula, you need to tell him that he's wrong. I was like, now, if you don't see that you got a problem with her and Ursula talking about, yeah, she is right, Harry. I'd have threw Ursula right out that front door and got Miss Alma all the way together. You understand? A whole mess. A whole mess. Would you say, Soap? I didn't see it last night. I just wanted to dip in and out. All right, Soap. Yeah, because you know I'm here ready to spill all the beans. Thank you for coming by. So everything's going on with that. And then Alma went into her little act like she does. And she's like, I'm sorry, Daddy. I trust you, Daddy. And she was over there hugging him. And she gave that look over there to Ursula. I was like, baby, that is evil, 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 evil. And that little girl, all I see is pure evil in her eye. And Ursula, you know, I don't trust her anyway. She's a whole mess. She is a whole mess. What's up, Hyperwing? She's a whole mess. So don't nobody trust her. But I was like, see, this is going to be a mess. Then we had this whole little thing where they were in the kitchen and he looks out there and he said, wait a minute. And he moves over again. And Alma says, well, what is the problem? He's like, I thought I saw her. And she's like looking and she's like, why? You got to just let her go. She's talking about her mother, her own mother. I'm like, that little girl is cold-blooded. She's like, you got to let her go. And he's like, she is your mother. She's not just a child. She'd have told you 900 times that the woman ain't worth a shit and that she don't give a shit about her. But you want to just keep on bringing it up. What's up, Blanco? What's up? I was wondering if you show up. I was wondering if you show up for this live coverage of your show. And yes, she is the bad seed, baby. She gives very much, you give me those shoes. She is all she needs is a raincoat. That's all she needs is a raincoat. She is a hot mess. Hot mess. So now listen, come on through, real Tashi. So listen, she's still telling him about how the mama ain't shit and they don't need her and all of that there. I said, she's a mess. And then he moves again and he looks and he sees that the door is actually cracked and something was like stuck in the door. And he gets to run around the house looking. They look at Ursula, ain't paying no attention. Here it is. All of that led him to the fact that Belle, that sent somebody in, baby, they just slid up in there and stole Eli, honey, and they just gone. Left a note from Belle in the bassinet upstairs. I don't know. Who are these people? Who are these people? You got this big old huge house. Because that house is huge. That house got about 5 or 6 bedrooms in there. House is huge. What's up, Michelle? House is huge. And the baby's upstairs and everybody else is downstairs. Where do they do that at? Where do they do that? Do you know why bassinets have wheels? So you could take them wherever the hell you want. Whenever my babies were small, wherever I was is where they were. Babies are not just left in room. Listen, we saw that, and here I go, I'm going off the side. Seen it in one of the episodes from the American Horror Stories saga. There was where the baby was always being left in this room, and these entities kept going in there around the baby, but the baby always in the room by itself. I don't know these people. Whatever. Anyway, so Eli's gone. Belle left a letter. Belle said, listen, you come over to my house, bring that little raincoat killer with you, honey, and that's it. And if you don't, you already know what's up. So that was that. So they're devising this plan, and they're trying to see what it is. He's like, I'm not doing this. If we go there, they're going to kill us. That's just all to it. They don't trust us. They think that I've gone too far. And if we go there, what's up, Smokey's mama? They said, if we go there, we're not going to walk out of there alive. That's just the way it is. So, old Alma said, I'm not afraid. I am not afraid. Child, let's go. I said, well, what? Okay. And she's like, and we got Ursula. So Ursula, child, I fell out. When Ursula said, because she said, yeah, I'm not scared. I took out a whole police chief. It's like, yeah, you're kind of right. Ursula said, yeah, she's right. Y'all have me, but I'm not going over there with y'all though. I'm not. She looked right over there at Ursula and said, um, she said, you chicken shit little bitch. I said, now, Miss Alma, now she just said, and he ain't said nothing. I said, now she just going too far now. She run around calling the babysitter an old chicken shit little bitch. And she's too much. She's too much. But see, Ursula's evil, honey. Ursula told her, she said, I'm looking for any small sliver of goodness that I have to be able to overlook what you just said. I was like, girl, get her, honey. Get her. Get her. So, Ursula's just as mean as her, honey. So I said, okay, we're going to see. So she said, well, I have a plan. And I said, well, Lord, what is this going to be? That damn Ursula. Next thing we see Ursula down to the cemetery, child, down there where the damn tweakers hang out at. And she calling them to come out. Now, Ursula done worked a whole plan with her lying ass and she got them to listen to her, which this for me was kind of corny because, first of all, Ryan, I got to get you, baby. Y'all know I love Ryan Murphy and Brad Falchuk, but I got to get y'all because the tweakers don't have good sense. Okay. I thought that she was actually down there for Doris because Doris she's just transitioned. So what she said, I thought maybe she could get through to Doris, but no, not the other ones. They've been down there too long. The thirst that they actually have is too great. There's no way she would have been able to talk with them. It just wouldn't have, that just didn't make sense. But let's go for moving the story. We're going to come on and move on with it. But she gets their attention and she's telling them, I was wrong about you all, and so was everybody else. And there's a new pill. And this one, it gives you a second chance. And then she gets to talking about John Travolta and a whole mess. But she supposedly worked them, honey, with the Jedi mind trick, honey, and told them the people who are against you, I'm not the enemy. I have the cure. You take this and it will change all this shit y'all got going on and switch you back up, and you'll have this second chance and you could become big stars. So they stupid. So they was all ears. And then she told them the people who are really not with you are the people who were talented and have all the success. They're the enemies and they're the ones you need to be worried about. I said, oh, the Jedi mind trick. Okay, girl. A whole mess. And she wasn't doing nothing but lying, child. I said, okay. So meanwhile, while that's going on, you got Alma and Harry over at Bell's. Child, they get to going back and forth. They get in there. It's a whole exchange. They got the baby there, and he's right for the most part. They're going to die, and the chemist is there too. They're basically kept planning on killing them. And Belle and Austin were looking real crazy. Did y'all see them? They were looking real crazy. I was like, what in the hell is going on? They was looking nuts. Do you hear me? They was like, Belle was like, I'm gonna clean up this town. I said, girl, what's wrong? Child, they talked about taking her drugs away. I said, girl, y'all are giving me crack fiend, honey. They was going off. But here they go. They got this whole thing going on. And the next thing you know, they got them backed up damn near to the front door. The windows start busting. Here come the tweakers. The tweakers then busted in the house and they get to fighting. When I tell you, Belle and Austin was tearing the tweakers up. Baby, they was slicing and cutting. I said, come on through. Now, y'all, listen, y'all don't judge me. You know I'll be rooting for the bad guy. You know I likes me some Bell and I likes me some Austin, honey. They was tearing them hoes up. I said, get them, y'all. They was cutting them. They was slitting throats left and right. Baby, I was having a great time. I was like, get them, honey. Get them. Like, tearing them up. But then it got to be too much, baby. They overpowered him, honey. First they got Austin, honey. One jumped him on his back, honey, and gave him a shot, honey, and grabbed his neck. He said, oh, shit. And then they got Belle. Of course, Belle was very much over dramatic. One of them got her, and you know she a bad bitch. So the other one got her, and they both had her. She's like, I said, really, Belle? Really, girl? Really? You can't just die. You got to do all that. She's like, I was waiting on her to scream out, Balenciaga. But they got her, baby, and she had her whole death scene because she's dramatic. She had to lay all out on the floors. I said, work out, Belle. But they got her, tore her ass up. All along, honey, Miss Candy, the chemist, she grabbed the baby, and she dashed. She went on a dash. So now, once everybody's done, you know, the tweakers is like, Alma and old boy, Mr. I got 5 novels written up in 3 days. You going to get a little taste of these teeth. So they was going to get them. Baby, that's when old nasty Ursula came in there with old nasty piece of 45, baby, and took them out. Boop, 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 boop. I said, okay. Now, we knew Ursula was evil. We knew Ursula was evil, right? But I ain't know that she'd be doubling as the Tomb Raider, honey. She came in there and Laura Croft the shit out of them, took them down. I said, okay, but I should have known because Alma said, we got Ursula. That had to mean something, child. Took them down. Took them down. That was that. And next thing you know, we go into a whole twist. And they're like, oh, yeah, everything's great. We're going to be fine now. The chemist that came back out, and she's like, oh, my gosh, you know, this, that, thing, and the other. And look, and Alma said something about the two of us and then she turned on her dad and got him in his neck. I knew she was going to do it. I knew she was going to flip on him and do that, but she killed her own dad. She munched and crunched, and she fed on him. And his face, that poor, he looked so defeated. He looked so defeated. With as evil and as nasty as that little girl is, he just looked so defeated, like he just really thought that she would never actually turn on him. Baby, listen. When you got a pet snake, honey, and it keeps on wrapping around you, eventually it's going to squeeze you, honey. But he got her. She got, honey, by old Alma. She sucked them dry. And then had the nerve to tell them, you know, do you mind? Do you like people watching you while you eat? I said, oh, she's a mess. She's a mess. But yeah, the chemist was working along with Ursula and them too. I said, oh, all of y'all is terrible, honey. No honor amongst thieves at all. So then we move forward. It's 3 months later in Hollywood. Child, you can see that they've introduced the pills into the neighborhood because there's a cop that comes down the street and he just ends up biting somebody and ends up being shot on the street. And you see there's more and more of it happening. And as we're looking, we see everything is doing the thing. Everything is just as they want it to be. They're doing well. They're living it up. She ain't even the chemist. She done got bored. So she's just creating her something to do. She's going after cops that are racist and have done things to the Black community. And she's giving them the pills. She talked about having a bad batch of pills that end up making the subjects turn on each other. And I believe those are the batch that she was given to these cops. And just, it was literally the people that they're supposed to be serving and protecting. They start turning on them. And then the other ones would have no other thing to do than take them out. So it was like a whole plan she had going. She's doing her own. I said, that's a Ryan Murphy version of some twisted justice. But okay, I said, all right. So she's like building a little apocalypse all of her own while everything else is going. Here we got Ursula running around town doing what it is that she does. Alma is now, they're in Hollywood, so she's starting to audition for things. Child, we had this whole little situation where Alma goes to audition for this little thing, playing her violin, has this whole run-in with another prodigy. He's older. And this didn't work real well with me either, but I get it. It came down through the audition to just the two of them. And they're having a conversation. He's like, oh, yeah, I'm a child prodigy as well. But he's like grown now. But he's like, yeah, I studied under this. I did this. I did that. I did this, and that. And Alma's telling him, but that's okay because I'm better than you. He's like, what do you mean? She said, I'm better than you. I'm better than everybody. And this, that, and the other. So he sits and tells her why between the two of them that she's not going to make it. He's going to be the one that gets chosen, whether or not she's better, because of the whole thing of her being a child, her being young and this, that, thing, and the other, and all of this. And he's giving her all these pros and these cons. And then he tells her what he did, he talked too damn much. He told her, you're what people expect as to be something different and great. And then he told her, just face it, kid. You're the bearded. He told her, you're the bearded lady from the freak show. I said, oh my God. Honey, I seen that Alma, honey, her eyebrow raised up. I said, your ass is grass, honey, because you should have never told. You should have never told that whack job, honey. And she thought for 1 minute, honey, that what he was talking about was true and that they weren't going to pick her. She said, okay. Next thing we know, honey, they come out, and actually he was right, because they come out, they're like looking for him, because I believe they really were going to hire him, honey. They said, where's so-and-so? She said, oh, he said he's going around back to smoke a cigarette. Child, he was around back, honey, with his throat tore out. Now, I have a problem with that part, because one, she wouldn't have actually been able to talk him into going back there with her, because nobody's going back and back of a building with a little girl. Like, ain't nobody doing that. So that didn't really make sense. And we all know that Alma could kill him, but how would she get him around the back and she's all cleaned up? So that part didn't really make sense. That didn't make sense. But it was all right. They was looking for him. He had left his little peanuts on the table. Alma sat there and ate his nuts, honey, while they looked for him. And then they found him with his throat tore out. I said, oh, Miss Alma. So she's still up to her tyranny, honey, and carrying on. A whole mess. A whole mess. So that was that. I wasn't feeling that. But anyway, moving on. Ursula. This is where we ended. This is how this ended out. Ursula basically hijacked a speaking engagement. There was this author who was doing a speaking engagement. It's a public speaking engagement. And there wasn't a whole lot of people there. Just a select group. They're in there, and these little writers, he's just as rude. Somebody says something that was like a normal question. He's going to say, get the fuck out of here. Done put him out. Put him out. Put him right out the seminar. Just rude. And so anybody that thinks like that isn't even worthy of being in here. I was like, okay. So he has Ursula as his guest speaker. And she comes in and gets to tell the people, and I'm sitting there screaming, laughing. She comes in there, she gets on the mic after he gave her this wonderful little intro, and basically telling them he ain't shit. He's sitting up here lying. He ain't had a hit since hits was being made. He ain't shit. What I got is the answer right here is the black pill. So now she got a whole audience. She just literally hijacked his room. And she's doing, like, how they have to always schmooze people. she done got where she schmoozed, because she about that money. So she got it to where she schmoozed the people by the room full. Baby, she sat there, gave everybody a pill. Honey, all these desperate asses out there, they took the pills. He took the pill, and he really wasn't talented, like she said. He done fell over, and somebody was chewing on him, looked up, honey, pretty much most of the room had done went mad, honey, just that quickly. And it was like a whole outbreak, whole, like, again, building a little apocalypse. It was like a massacre, all in the parking lot. They was eating, carrying on, tearing up. All the people from that seminar. We go outside. The chemist is in the car with Eli, calling herself mommy, and then saying, well, we're moving on, and maybe I'll go make a pill or something that will let you and I just live forever. And that's how it basically ended out. So it was kind of weird. It was kind of weird. I guess I guess they had did as much as they could do there before things catch up with them, and they're going to move on to the next place, I guess. It was just kind of weird. It was kind of weird how it ended. But again, I loved this. This was cool. This last part, I feel like they rushed it, and they did kind of just like put a little bow on it. But I don't think we're totally done. We're done with Red Tide for now, but Red Tide is going to work some kind of way into Death Valley. It is, because on some of the previews, I saw something with some pills. There was some black pills in a bottle on some of the thing on the previews they were flashing for Death Valley. So I don't know. We will see. We will see. What'd you say? Episode 10 will tie it up. Okay. Yeah, so I know something's got it's definitely we won't just end there. But that ending that they did last night was kind of like, eh. What'd you say? Episode 10 is called Red Tide Part 1. Okay. Interesting. But yeah, so that's it. That's all. That's what went down on American Horror Story last night. Or the night before. No, I'm late. Anyway, but yeah, so that was the way they wrapped this up in a bow. I was like, okay, I still enjoyed myself because again, I'm kind of mad that Belle's gone and that Austin is gone and Karen. Child, and then I loved Mickey. Child just came to, I got attached to the people, so maybe they'll all come back to life, honey, and cause some more havoc. Who knows? We'll see. Anyway. That's it. That's all. Ain't got no more. I'm up out of here. Y'all got y'all way. Y'all got y'all wish. I did a version of this live instead of just me sitting in front of the camera. I'm sitting here with you all who actually came in the live. Thank you for hanging out. I will talk with you guys later. Brandon, I have plans on doing impeachment, but I just ain't in no rush to run over there to watch it. However that works. I haven't been motivated to run over there yet. But yeah, I plan to get with it. All right, you all. Later.